Hello and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. We are on our final card for the stamp set of the week, Gathering Moments. This has got to be the easiest funky fold we're going to do. So this is the card. But before I show you how it opens, I just wanted to remind you of the beautiful papers that come with this set or suite. Our mini catalogue went live on Wednesday. So if you would like to order a catalogue or purchase any of the things that you will see today or in either of the videos, then there is a link below in the YouTube channel that you can find all the supplies. Okay, so this is the beautiful stamp set with all of the images. So let me show you my card. So it's got a ribbon effect, so you open the or release the ribbon and then the card opens in a fold. It folds out like so. So as I say, it is a very quick and easy funky fold. And then just to fasten it, you just create a bow. Now bows notoriously online when you're being videoed don't go too well, but I think I'm happy with that. I'm going with that. Right, let's bring in the supplies. So today we have got a piece of old olive. Now this measures 5 3/4 by 10 3/4, and we will score this together in a moment. Then I have some designer series paper. So I've got one piece that measures 3.5 by 5.5. Then I've got one piece that measures 3 by 5.5, and I have one piece that measures this is 3/4 of an inch by 5.5. I have a white piece of card which will go for writing on. Now this is 3.5 by 5.5 as well. I have got a ribbon strip of 20 inches. So that will go all around the card. Then my sentiment strip is 3 by, no it's not, it's 3 by 2. And then the matte layer behind is 3.25 by 2.25. Plus one piece of scrap for all of the stamping. Whew. So there's enough pieces there. Don't worry, you will find all my measurements on my blog. Right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to stamp all over this with my images from the set. So I am using Old Olive for this particular leaf. I'm going to do 2 of each. There we go. Let's stamp that up. So you got 1, 2. So that was in Old Olive. Then I've got a toadstool, which I'm going to stamp 2 again in Cajun Craze, as long as I can open, oh my goodness, there we go, as long as I can open the box or the ink pad. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, then I have the crushed curry. Now I'm picking up the colours from the paper that we're using, so it all matches, and the leaves are similar to the leaves in the paper. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got a Cajun Craze mushroom there. I've got this leaf here. There's this leaf here. So I'm trying to keep with the colours so that it matches the papers. Right, I've done that one, 2 of those, and then the next one we need is early espresso. I need 2 small ones, these little ones. Again, these are depicted in the designer series paper. And then I'm going to get 2 of these leaves. So hopefully I get all of that in there. Oh, just about. Right, okay, so what we need to do is to bring in our dies. So these are the dies that come with the set. They are brilliant. Just simply put them over the top, hold them down with a bit of washi tape. Now, I normally would just pop them through the machine without the washi tape. However, because I'm cutting so many in one go, I'm going to use my washi tape just to hold them down so none of them nudge each other. They shouldn't do, but you never know. Put it on that one there. Okay, that's that one. And then I've got this big one here. It goes onto here. There we are. Perfect. And I've obviously left one of them in behind. Now, this particular die, there's two of them. I think because obviously they've just felt that... There they are. There we are. There's two of them, so it makes cutting them quick and easy because they're quite small. But I won't need to do that. There we go. Right, run those through your cut and die machine and your cut and emboss machine, and you will get all of these back. So let's put those aside for the moment, and we can bring in our old olive and we'll do the scoring. Move that aside. Come on, thank you. Right, so I'm bringing in my scorer, and the measurements are 3 3/4. Oh, it's a bit wonky there. Let's go that bit. Try that. And then 7 inches. Okay, 7 inches. You wouldn't believe that I have 3 bone folders in my office, but do you think I can find one of them? Just seem to have vanished, and my office is actually quite clean today. Okay, so it's a zigzag fold. So this one is coming over, and then I'm just going to use my block. There we go. So that's that one, and then that one comes back on itself, like so, and then you've got the zigzag. There you go. Right. And then the card opens like so. All right, so now we can put our designer series paper on. So the largest piece is, let's just make sure everything is in the right place. That's 1, and that will go to 2, and that will go into there, and then that piece will go to there. Excellent. Right, let's stick those down. I'm getting all tangled up. I'm just going to reach over and grab my stamp and seal. Right, so I'm just going to add, oh come on, there we are. So this piece is the 3.5 by 5.5. Okay. The next piece is the 3 inches by 5.5. Got Bella with me today. You can hear her pause on the floor. Then I'm going to stick down my white piece, which is the 3.5 by 5.5. So these two panels here are the same measurements. Wiggle, wiggle. Okay, and then I'm just going to add my stamp and seal here. Make sure I get it the right way up. Yeah, okay, so stamping down. Now, when I cut these pieces of paper, I got myself a strip and cut them in order, but I actually cut them. So let me make more sense here. I cut myself a long piece of 5.5 by 12-inch strip. Then I cut them down. So the first strip I did was the 3.5 by 5.5, and then the second strip I did was the 3/4 of an inch, and then I cut the 3 inches, because what happens is when I close it, I wanted this all to line up with the papers. So I'm quite happy. You don't have to, as you can see, it's not a major issue if it doesn't line up, but I just wanted the colours to line. Okay, so that is the basics of the card. So the thing to do now is to close the card up, and we can wrap our ribbon round. Hello, Bella. Excuse me. I've still got this throat. No matter what I've done with it, it's just very sore and a bit of a pain. Right, so I've measured, I've put it through the half, and I've stretched it out. I'm bringing in my dimensionals, and I'm going to put them either side of the ribbon, so not far apart, but fairly close. So I'm going to put 2 at the top. She says, hang on a second, let's get that. There we go. Hold that down. Make sure they're the same. Yeah, so I'm going to put 2. It's weird, isn't it? When you do it in your own peace and quiet, not an issue. The minute the camera goes on, it just doesn't sit right. Okay, so that's that one. And then I'm going to put 1 at the bottom as well, or 2 at the bottom, should I say, just opposite each other. This will help to keep the ribbon in place. And also it's a good thing for you to put your sentiment strip on. So I'm going to put my sentiment strip here. So as you can see, that now keeps my ribbon in place. Ribbon's not going to fly away. You can pull it out, but you don't obviously want to do that. But it just helps to keep it in place. Okay, so I'll bring in my sentiment strip. I'm going to use the Old Olive, and I am using the sentiment. It's quite a big happy birthday, and this comes from, my brain has gone and I've left the, okay, I will find out, and I will make sure that the information is in the description below. So the thing I'm going to do is Old Olive, there we go. So I'm going to bring this over to the far right, hold it down, perfect. I did that, and then I'm going to, Bella is nudging me, she wants a fuss. She's obviously decided that she's been watching out the window long enough, and now is fuss time. Okay, and then I'm going to put the happy birthday, or the happy, over in the far left corner. So that's happy in the far left hand and birthday in the far right hand corner. There we go. Right, I'm just going to put the video on pause for 2 seconds, as Bella is desperate, I think, to go out for a wee. So just bear with me and I will be right back. And I'm back. Yes, she was desperate. So I'm glad we stopped. Right, okay, so now what we can do is we are going to pop that onto there, and I'm going to glue it flat, so I'll just use my Stampin' Seal. Okie dokie. Now my leaves that I created at the beginning, we're going to poke around the edge. So I'm going to, let's create a ribbon here. There we go. Perfect. Right, there's the bow, And now we can bring these in. And why is everything so far away? Arm's length. There we go. Right. So what I'm planning on doing is poking the bigger leaves at the opposite corners. Now, if it makes your life easier, you could work on this corner, turn the card round and work on this corner. So I'm just going to stick this one down first of all. I'm not going to stick it all the way down. I'm just going to put glue at the end, so I can lift that up and poke that into place. There we go. And I've got this one, which will do the same. What I'm trying to do is just make a cluster of leaves. There we go. That one. And that one, come here, you. We'll go there. Then I've got my green leaf. I'm going to leave that there for a second, because what I want to do is I'm just trying to work out whether it's better to do it that way. See, that works quite well. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. Just add glue at the bottom again. I have it over here poking out. And then I'm just going to add a bit of glue at the bottom on my green. I'm not quite sure where my computer keeps bleeping, so I do apologise. There we go. And then I'm going to bring a dimensional in. That will go there. And then I can work out how my mushroom goes. So, there's that one. Let's turn it round and do the same on this one. Right, so we're going to glue. Obviously, we've got to remember that we are working backwards on this. I think the only one that's going to be an issue is the mushroom. So I will turn it round for that bit, because I really don't want the mushroom hanging upside down, because it's just not going to be a good look. There we go. Right, turn that round, and then we're going to put a dimensional here, and then the mushroom can go on the top there. And there we go. There is our quick funky fold happy birthday card. There we go. I'm really liking the design, and the papers are so beautiful. So let me know what you think. I hope to catch up with you next week with a new stamp set. Take care and have a lovely weekend. Bye.